So we're here with Ben for another video. He's going to be versing Griffon in a tournament game, and the selection was for 2 yard right now. So Ben, what are we thinking here with this div? What are we focusing on? What are we building? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of feeling it out a little bit, but it seems like Tuya is a pretty good tank div because you get the top end guys, you get the T80Us, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, I'm upvetting them, so I only get two, so you got to be a little bit careful with them. But you get the top end guys. You also get some pretty good medium tanks, 210 points and 235 points. So you're it's a pretty solid tank tab. It feels like. Um, and you get some decent infantry with it as well. You get a lot of the BTRs, so you get some fast transports if you want
Yep.
them. And you get the BMPs as well. Um, so I built it kind of just to be pretty versatile and kind of cover a lot of the bases. Like a, um, I take the recon heli because it's kind of fun and
I
it's
think this thing
honestly
puts in
great
work.
for. It's honestly I never really end up getting a lot of kills with it, but it's really nice to deny the
Area control.
enemy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
kind of stunts their opener a little bit, which as a tank div is super useful.
Hmm.
It's something I do a lot with like the Kiowa Warrior in
Yeah.
US divs. You
Yep.
throw it out there. You don't even need to risk it too bad. You really just it's really nice to stunt the enemy recon opener as a tank div. Gives you a little bit of time in the opener. Osos are nice, but they're not great at
The
stopping
range.
planes, but they're
Right.
super nice, super good accuracy, good range against helos. So they're nice. They're nice.
The Barakas, they don't get any ECM in this div. The ECM and the helicase is very
Yeah,
crucial.
yeah, but the Kokons are nice because they're super fast. So
Yep.
you need them at least. They're nice defensively.
Then a light air tab as well. MiG 29s are great
Yeah,
guns.
yeah, and that new trait on its short range missile is nice because you
Hmm.
can win dogfights even when you're like evac. You can still shoot off a missile sometimes, which is nice. But yeah, you get the good clusters, um, which always feels good. Just taking out some whatever any target you want. Basically, this thing will take it out.
Yeah,
Party tab definitely have not figured that out yet.
yeah.
So
I usually see a lot more infantry in this div. This is a very light infantry tab from my understanding of this division, but I am by no means an expert as well.
yeah, no, you're right. It's not a whole lot. I think I go light here on the infantry because I have a few more cards of recon infantry,
Hmm.
um, and so I kind of supplant that a little bit.
Hmm.
Because it just feels like with heavy tanks, you want as many eyes out there as you can. You want to
Right.
identify any threats early. Uh, So yeah, you're right. It's definitely not a fully optimized deck, but for the for the idea of getting out heavy tanks and screening with your infantry and with enough recon, we're kind of covered here.
I think.
3 cards of supply. I don't know if like mathematically if it's great. It feels like if I go a 40-minute game with a tank division and I'm trying to keep my tanks alive, I go through supply pretty quick.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely, especially with the arty
so
tab too.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
So we're bringing four, six CVs overall, two tanks,
Six
two
CVs.
infantry, and two of the 40-point cheap
It's yeah,
ones.
it's definitely on the
Yeah,
lighter end, but over like if I'm not trying to win the game in the beginning, I don't have to be as risky with my CVs at least.
and second's
And I
definitely not that deck.
yeah,
210
yeah,
point
exactly.
tanks.
Yeah, I've honestly thought about double vetting those guys, um, the T72s, but they have an auto loader, so I don't know how much use I'm really getting out of double vetting them. The range is solid though. 2,100 meters is definitely better than a lot of the lighter stuff. And that 60% accuracy, this is what I've been learning. 60% accuracy at 2,100 meters is way better than 60% accuracy at the minimum range cannons.
Hmm.
At least it feels like it, because
Yep,
man,
I
some
agree.
of those min range tanks are just very frustrating.
They just don't hit when you need them to.
Exactly.
then one T64, and then the double up. I mean, these are quite expensive. You got to keep them alive. So this up vet on them is interesting, especially with the autoloader as
Yeah,
well.
it's a bit risky, but if you wait till you get through the T72s at least, um, like at least you have the option to throw out the cheaper stuff first and let that get nuked. Um, Whereas in other like heavy tank divs, you really are just stuck with expensive stuff. Like third armored, you only get the M1A1s, and so you at least get a few tanks to bait out some enemy planes first before you have to call out the T80s.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I appreciate it. This is going to be a very interesting game to watch. All right, Griffin, good sir. Another game, with the Spanish div in the play here. What are we thinking here with our buys? Pretty infantry heavy div. What's the game plan here with our layout?
Yeah, so there's one problem with this div that I'm always trying to address is how little total, in terms of total point value, the div has. So if you look
Mm-hmm.
at if you plug this into Warriors, you'll see this is only barely 13k. That's
Okay.
why there's a card of zero vet tank. Uh, it's not ideal. The div is a bit of a, so you have a lot of Milan 2s, right, in the
Mm-hmm.
transports, in the truck, which is good, but you don't have the forward deploy to get them into position. In fact, you don't have any forward deploy on the division. So the idea is maybe I can make it work on Ike, because on Ike you don't really need forward deploy, right? Like both sides get
Right.
to the edge of the plateau, they go up the plateau, and it's always a slugfest on the plateau. So yeah, nothing special with the div build, just trying to have enough inf, trying to have enough tank. The vet kind of sucks, but uh, it's okay.
Yeah, I see we're selecting here a double card of command infantry.
Yeah, it's just because I have to bring the infantry CV or bring Logitab CV, and
Okay.
I decided that the infantry CV is more. It has better stealth, so maybe I can hide it inside a building or in a little tree line, because
Right.
the side zone on Ike is often permanently contested throughout the whole game. The one pointer, the town one pointer. So I expect to cycle a lot of inf CVs, have them get RD'd and replace them with a new one. That's why there's so many inf CVs.
Right. And if they have the good stealth, hopefully it's keep alive a little bit longer. It makes sense. Makes sense. And since we're a very light tank div, I see we brought the Milans 2s and the Itos. Keep that double card there. The AA also, you're lacking any type of Mistral or Stinger, so we got double card of Ihawks here. You don't
Yeah,
see that
dealing
often.
with Ihawks are fine, right? Two cards of Ihawks, that's good.
Mm,
Pretty good for a NATO div, but the div doesn't have anything that can deal with helicopters. So no
right.
manpad, no mobile AA. The only thing I've got is this AA truck, which can be used for opener, but it's not very good.
After that, yeah.
Can't be relied on. So that's why I think in the game you'll see me dive his helicopters, because that's the only real way
To get rid of them.
for me to deal with helicopters, yeah, on this
Interesting.
div.
Going in, are you feeling quite comfortable with this div then?
Uh,
Against this 2-yeah
Not
matchup?
really, because I've done this matchup on this map before, and this
Mm,
was more meant to be of a test of
okay.
how would it go again if I try again. All the inf that has good inf AT, so the 18 pen AT, everything that has SMGs,
Yep.
and a lot of ATGMs.
Try and cut down
That's,
his tanks on his div. Makes sense. Makes
yeah,
sense.
because I can't fight T-72s with M48s. M48s are too slow and too fragile.
All right, Penn, talk me through your mindset here. What's the opener here? What are we trying to get? What's our mission here? What are we thinking of buying to start out this game?
So as 2Y, I kind of just want to make the game go as late as possible. So I kind of want to play pretty defensively at first, protect my back 2-point zone, um, try to prevent any breakthroughs into the city, and kind of just make sure he doesn't get behind me on the other side, so that I'm not like worried. I'm not spending 10 minutes looking for what's behind me, and try to just keep something on the plateau so that I don't get fully pushed off. So I kind of just try to D up in the city area, try to not let him full cap the zone or even just push down to my 2-pointer,
Okay.
and just prevent him from fully taking the center zone. So I don't have a whole lot going there. I send the recon hind up there to try to stunt his deployment. I don't actually even remember if I kill anything with it, but it at least forces some early unloads and makes him think about it at least. It buys me a little bit of time to get some reinforcements in there.
Yeah, it looks like we're building quite heavy into Elena with a very minimal deployment into the Dimitri. You see a lot of people playing for this 2-pointer, so you're really playing for that late game here and focusing on
Yeah,
getting
that
this
was the
game out.
goal. I figured get enough tanks out there, and Bueno really shouldn't be able to mess me up too much, especially if I in like on the plateau where there's not a whole lot of sight lines for his Milans.
Right.
Just build up enough tanks in there, and then make a big assault. So in the deployment, I'm kind of just trying to make sure he doesn't get behind me or full push me into my back 2-pointer.
Yeah, second's got a little more expensive units, so making sure he doesn't pull out the mass and surround everything makes sense. What about for you, Griffin? What are we thinking here for your opener? What is your mindset here? What is your mission trying to get accomplished?
I'm trying to seize the side zone. If you look at the right, there's 2 M47 recons going around. Are those VCs or VCs? But I expect to get it anyways, because if he goes for the side zone, he has to still go to the middle, and the range of the OSA only covers one plateau. So if he does that, I would be able to probably bomb out the side zone anyways. So I just had 2 VCs to clean up any kind of recon vehicle, and I expect to own the right side for the whole game, basically.
Okay.
And other than that, for the center and the town, I expect to just have it contested. So if you look at it, I'm just deploying into the corners, like nothing special, not really rushing forward. So it's just
So control Anna and then get control of that top hill Dimitri.
Yeah.
That makes sense. A lot of people talk about the importance of Dimitri as it's the 2-point zone, and then they always take that one extra point to get that tick lead. Very interesting. So let's see how this turns out with this opener here. So far, no contact all the way through. That vision there from that 24K is quite nice. We see a pretty heavy opener on the left-hand side here. What are you thinking, Ben, when you see that?
Yeah, I'm kind of relieved, honestly, that he's not hard pushing my right side, because I'm deploying pretty far back on the left. I'm kind of letting him take that ground just because I don't want to have to worry about it for a while. So it's nice that it all wasn't pushing into the plateau either, because he would have really rushed me out of there pretty quick.
Yeah, he's got a pretty high investment. He could have probably gotten all the way through to that very end, like you said there. We also got pretty good control of this right-hand side.
Yeah, honestly, 2Y gets some decent infantry in there. So once I get established in there, get the ATGMs up over there as well. Now I just got to start buying stuff to hold the plateau.
Yeah, this Hind's already putting the work, getting the vision, seeing what's going on, as well as supporting that right-hand side push, and then we're pushing for vision up here. Looks like we're trading pretty well with the Hinds to start out with.
Yeah, it's expensive and it may not pay for itself in points, but it provides a lot of utility outside of just killing stuff, which is nice.
Yeah, we seem to have a lot of vision. We see a lot of movement from Griffon over here with the vision we have controlled. From Griffin's side here, not seeing too much vision. However, he's quite spaced out, and it looks like he's got pretty good control of what he wants to do. Look at these opener, Griffin. What are you thinking right now? Are you quite happy with how it's looking, or what are you expecting looking at this?
I'm not happy how I lost my unit in the town, so I have to go back into the town, the left.
Right. That
Yeah, but I think it's because I expected him to go to the middle more than the left.
Mm-hmm.
So there's too much in the middle, but not enough in the left. So I have to re-establish that contested state. If both zones are contested right now, it would be on a +1, I think.
Right.
But instead, he has plus. Well, it's gonna be even when my CV gets in. So that's not great because I need my point lead from being +1.
Like you talked about, that dive pays off here. Sometimes it doesn't end up paying off. But got that free kill. Look at that bend over. Do you think you pushed that a little too far out, or are you quite happy by getting that ground that you had?
Yeah, it was definitely a bit risky, and he definitely caught me out. It was a smart buy by Griffon. I was just trying to probe with those BTRs, just see how far I could push up there. It's something I'm always trying to improve at is learning that I don't have to. Not all my units have to stay alive. And so when he's obviously like strong in the middle and on the left, like it's worth the risk to waste a few units seeing how far we can push down into his back zone. Maybe not worth the hind in hindsight, but it at least buys us time to get some units into the middle.
Yeah, everything's always hindsight, right? Most of the time you learn
Yeah,
from the
always.
I'm pushing in pretty far up. We see everything that's going on here. Are we happy with our position right now, or what are we thinking we need to reinforce? What are we buying? What's our mission now?
Yeah, honestly, now that we've pushed into Fedor, obviously we didn't hold anything, but it forces him to at least think that I'm pushing over there, or at least buy a few units to reinforce that so that I don't push over there. Which just means that I have more points going to the middle zone for a few minutes compared to he does, at least in theory. And I'm lucky that he hasn't called my bluff yet on the left side. But those Razvetka, the Recon Razvetka with the BMP1 are really nice for just holding open ground.
Right.
So
yeah, the reason also that I can push was that Warno doesn't have any mobile AA, so if I go down, what's going to happen is there's going to be one hind, and I'll be stuck.
Right.
With one hind.
Or one of those clusters or whatever.
Yeah, like I can't really keep just any kind of AA moving down into that open field to go into what was it, Boris? So although he only had one recon and one recon BMP defending it, it was enough. I don't think I could go down there with an efficient amount of units.
Yeah, it looks like you were talking about earlier, you invested pretty heavily in the middle, saw that there wasn't much up there to push, and so like you said, you're investing back in this town. Is that what we're trying to do? To get that tick back in your favor, to get back into Elena, to get that ticking?
I never expect to fully control the town or the middle. I just expect to keep them both contested, so my ride can tick a +1. Yes, that's all I can go for, because pushing all the way across the middle or across the town goes really close to the enemy's back zone. So if they're equal skill player on a decent division, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
Because they'll just buy units and it will stalemate over there. But I'm taking too long to get back into the town because the infantry needs to go a long way to. So if you look at where my recon is, it's too far back. It's a very awkwardly shaped town.
Yes. Unlucky.
I think I probably should have bought a smoke mortar. Yeah, but those M48s are very frustrating. Like they don't do much in this matchup. They miss. They can't run away because they're slower than the
Right.
T-72.
Another dive again
It's
on
not
the
great.
attack heli. And it pays off, but do we get out? Probably doesn't look like we're going to get out here. Do we get a trade? At least we got a trade on the one, but... What are we doing here, Ben, to get the tick in your favor here? What are we buying? What are we thinking? Where are we trying to get that tick?
Yeah, he's got a good push going in the city now, and he keeps taking out my helicopters. I think maybe I even have like one more max at this point, so I got to be a little conservative there. But his smoke mortars are also annoying. Griffin's got some really good smoke play, and I got to figure out a way to get around that or counter battery it or whatnot. But while he's pushing on the right, it gives me at least the opportunity to kind of send it in the middle.
Mm. Yeah, you know,
And
you
the
have to secure
RPO
tanks.
guys, yeah, the RPO guys do some wonders in there. I know Bueno, I think gets the really good, the Zappador is there with the SMGs now and the AT. That feels like a good squad. I haven't played it a whole lot, so I'm curious what Griffon would say about it. But the Saperi guys, I know are really good in Forest.
It is a good squad. The best thing is it's pure SMG and has its own AT, right? But in the case where you have a full unit composition, so you have your vehicles and the RPOs in the forest, a narrow strip of forest, then SMG, any kind of SMG still loses to RPO. So when the fight is this concentrated in such a narrow forest, the only counter to RPO is artillery or bombers.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Didn't know that. That's good.
Well, the SMGs
point.
cannot fight them unless I have my own RPO or at least a flash, which I don't. So SMGs will beat up anything that doesn't have a RPO, but
And is that because the fire
he
gets
has
started,
RPOs.
or just the damage?
It's just because it instantly gets stunned by the
Okay.
RPO. Yeah. So the only counter is artillery, but the game is a bit like, I think I messed up my tempo too much by buying those 3 mortars and then buying the MLRS. It was a little bit pro, to be honest, because if I bought 2 normal artillery instead, I could pre-aim the forest where the RPOs were, and either it would kill them or it would be too scary to push with the RPO for a long time. So that would be the best counter.
We're back on that
But
plus
I don't
one
have
tick,
that.
though.
Instead, I have MLRS, which ran out of ammo, and mortars that don't do a lot of damage. They were only 81 millimeter. If they were heavier mortars, this would be much better for the forest.
Now we're down on that plus one tick. Are we happy with the place we're at right now? What are we buying to get the support?
Well, now I have the plus one tick, but 10 minutes have passed, and in the middle, there's a couple of T-72s that I cannot deal with. T-72s and RPOs.
Okay.
Because I'm supposed to have my recon alive still. I'm supposed to have an artillery piece to pre-aim the forest. And the mortars are supposed to be smoking off the T-72, but I don't really know what I've been doing with them. I think later it died to the artillery. Smoking is really a pain after the RD rework.
Yeah.
Because eventually your smoke just dies to RD and there's nothing you can do. So I think that hurts a lot of those divs that like to play in a permanent smoke screen. Those
knife fight divs, they need that to get in there.
Yeah, I think good example is Burcom. Burcom.
Yeah, especially on a tight map like this where you're fighting over like 2 areas, really.
Yeah, I can't push M48 into the T-72, and I can't drive a ATGM into the T-72, where it's at already. So the only way would be to smoke and go with pure inf. But then it's just so difficult to keep up a smoke screen. With self-propelled smoke mortars, you can still shift click like smoke, shift, move, and then smoke, shift, move. But because they're so close to the front, uh, they still get hit because the salvo takes 16 seconds to complete. 5 shots, 4 shots in between. And it takes 15 seconds to pack up. So that's 31 seconds. And in 31 seconds, those frontline 122s were always going to hit them. So they can survive for a while, but then they eventually die where they're way too stunned, low cohesion.
Yeah, we're seeing this infantry on the right-hand side town fight. These SMGs, they're fighting to get within range, but these tanks are fighting them back in the BMPs. Right now we see Griffon on the +1. What are we doing, Ben, to get that back in your favor?
Yeah, well, I probably splurged a little bit on the artillery. It was a little bit of a luxury buy because I still have time, in my head at least, to build up for a big push. And so I'm thinking if I can get rid of those mortars, if he can't smoke me after a while, then I'll have a much better chance. But yeah, he comes in here with the planes again, takes out my last helicopter. I at least have a few OSAs around, so we get one plane at least.
Yeah.
But that's the only issue with OSAs is that their coverage is not the same as long range AA, obviously. So when you come in on a flank like that, like Griffon did, I only have one piece shooting at him on as soon as they pass the helicopter. So
Right.
I gotta. Then you see, I have to space him out a little bit better after that. So I learned my lesson, but I lost a helicopter for it.
Yeah, that was the last helicopter in the deck you had there. And looking at this here, are we feeling pretty confident? We haven't lost too many of our tanks to start out with. Are we not really worried about this +1 tick right now? We're still playing that late game.
Yeah, we kind of have to wait until his bombers come through. And so you see I'm not really pushing the tanks forward a whole lot yet. I'm trying to just build up enough. He's definitely, you see he's got a lot in the middle there. We win a duel there with the Milan vehicle, but I feel like we have enough of a foothold in the two big zones we're going for to sit tight for a few minutes and get some more tanks in.
Yeah, it looks like we're having a lot more vision on Griffin's side of knowing what's going on, but the actual pushing power and defensive power, it looks like it's heavily favoring Bendova right now. What are you thinking right now, Griffon?
I think at this point I just have a T-72 problem. I can't deal with the T-72s whatsoever. It's... Again, I should have had more stuff in the middle so I can fight in a smoke screen.
Right.
But like the order of the buys was not great. So I don't have enough in the middle, even if I smoke. So like a T-72 can just drive in and I don't even have enough infantry AT. So I think at this point...
Even on the +1 tick, you're not feeling confident with your position.
I already feel pretty bad. The only good thing was I think I know that I dived all the helicopters in the deck. And you know, second Spain suffers so badly against helicopters. So that's the one thing that I have going for myself. Right? That I know his helicopters are dead.
Do you think you're trading even right now, or do you think you're trading poorly and a little bit of concern of that nature?
Probably poorly, but it's not really like the trade doesn't matter that much. It's just that I don't have a unit composition that can prevent him from kicking me off the plateau.
Interesting, okay.
Because even if I had 2 more M48s or 3 more M48s up there right now, they wouldn't do anything against what he already had. I just don't really know what I could have.
Don't feel like giving answers to what he has. That makes sense. We're seeing a pretty heavy push here by Ben now on that right-hand side, with a lot of fire support here. We think this
Yeah,
is
the
going to be the
town
time to
has
get out.
consistently been an issue, but the town is something that is always possible to keep
That
contested.
side shot is
Yeah, I think it got attracted by the M47. But anyways, the town, I can always deploy infantry into the back behind the buildings, so that's hard LOS cover, right? And inside the dense town, the RPO loses to the SMG because the RPO doesn't do that good against buildings.
right. So,
So that part I'm fine with. I'm just more worried about the plateau. Like I don't know what I can do there.
yeah,
Again,
you've got
it's I need a huge advantage in terms of number of units and the constant smoke screen and some artillery to kill RPOs. Like it all needs to come together, and it's not perfectly coming together right now, and I'm gonna die very shortly. I think.
so the RPO and the T-72s are really the counter here. How you feeling right now, Ben? Are you quite happy with your trades recently? We did lose that one tank over here, but it looked like we're making a pretty solid push across both sides at once.
Yeah, we're kind of committing pretty hard here in the middle. And we tried doing the same on the right side. I tried getting around to flank the town, and yeah, we got a nasty side shot there. But yeah, we're feeling good in the middle because, like Griffon was talking about, even if he has a few M48s, like the T-72s can just tank that. And with enough mass, we can just kind of bowl our way through. That's at least what I'm thinking. And now here come a little bit of a counterattack. I get a nice 1 HP T-72 there alive, so we're still getting a little bit lucky here and there, which is nice. But yeah, our tanks are just better at this point. And I think that's like where the Hind really helped in the beginning was I didn't get pushed off the hill, even though I did not send enough units there. Although his mortars are still going, the counter battery is not doing very well. So we definitely haven't won yet, but we're in a good spot for 20 minutes in with the heavy div.
Yeah, we've watched two pushes though. We weren't able to capitalize on the push out of the town. We weren't able to fully push them out of the top here. Are we concerned that that didn't work out both times in your favor, or you still feel like you're trading strong enough to be confident, even though he's up 360 points now?
Yeah, if I had lost that T-72 right there, I would have been a little bit. It probably would have delayed me for a few more minutes even. But he's got a nice push going on in the middle, or down like in the valley, I guess I should say, which makes me a little bit nervous. So I have to spend some points getting some reinforcements to cover there, and I'm nervous he's gonna get my CV from that forest. But we still got some tanks in the city, which I think are going to be hard for him to contest because I got a lot of cover in there. It's a lot harder for his ATGMs to hit me in there. So I just waiting for the counter battery to do something, even though he's starting to get me pretty good now.
It's not working out in your favor there. We also see that he's been investing a lot in the planes. We haven't bought into any planes at this time. We do see the OSAs putting in a little bit of work here, but like you're saying, it's only after they get their attacks off. Why are we not buying any type of ASF or any type of planes here to react to?
Yeah, I think I had one MiG get shot down already, and I've just been sending all my points into tanks basically. I think probably because I haven't seen his bombers yet, I didn't even think about it, which is not very smart. But I didn't see a bomber yet, so I didn't even think about it. But I probably should have. Because my OSAs are out of ammo. We've lost a few, so it's always nice having those air optics up from the fighter anyway.
Yeah, your momentum, like we were talking about in your sixth US Div game, it was very heavily air focused. In this game, almost no air bought at all. So it's really very div dependent in playing with that playstyle here. We did end up seeing that CV on the left hand side, and we also see this CV on this right hand side. Griffon, looking at this now, how concerned are we with this push that you see coming across here?
I think I was about to call the game already. That's
Yeah.
how bad it is. Because the left town, yeah, maybe I can still live, but the middle plateau, I'm never getting back up the plateau. Because...
Yeah, that being the 2-pointer, that's game for you, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, technically, you can always smoke back up, but the process is too slow to build that up.
Okay.
at this point, and I think the trades are 2 down at this point. Like, it was fine maybe 10 minutes ago, but now it's not fine. There's too many T-72s that didn't die. And it's very hard for this div to kill T-72s anyways. Usually, it would be better if there's a more open field where you can spam Milan 2s. That would stop them from moving forward, at least. But in the middle plateau, it's too narrow for ATGMs to work. I think that's the primary distinction of this plateau. Because if it was flat, imagine if the plateau didn't exist. Then this would be a completely different map because, yeah, that whole side would have ATGMs shooting into the middle, right? But in this case, it's segregated by the cliff. So he just drives in one direction, and now he seizes the edge of the plateau, and I can't get back onto it. Now, I still have bombers, which are hard for OSAS to stop, but I don't see anything anymore, right? Because
losing the one cluster and
I don't have the plateau, so I can't see what I want to bomb.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best defense against air, is they don't know where your stuff are.
If they don't have vision, they can't do anything about it. Makes sense.
Okay, so I have a lot of stuff and recon the map still, but it's because of the cliff that I can't see anything. Right? And on the town side, it's because of the dense town. Both sides have a lot of units, but neither side sees much. And this is just the map feature.
Yeah, so playing this with a more heavier linear pushing of the lanes is quite more effective than a wider div that can spread across with more vision.
Well, yes, but you can't lose too much of the two sides of the map. So say if you go up the middle, but you lose both of the side zones, then the pressure from the tick is too much.
Okay.
So you don't have enough time to build up and fully control middle in that case. But in this game, he had the town from the beginning, so he wasn't under that pressure, which makes it completely different.
How are you feeling right now, Ben, looking at this mindset right here? We know the game's about to end from the timer, but looking at this game throughout it, how confident are you right now that you secured?
Yeah, it's feeling like the plan kind of worked. I mean, it's all, like, honestly, on this map, like, it feels a lot better even from the jump, just being the heavier division, knowing that you can go 40 minutes if you want to. Like, if it's like a ranked game and you're trying to go quick, you can, even with the heavier div, you can, I guess, rush the plateau. But given this was like a fun tourney game, and you're trying to play for the win, it's, as a heavier div, it's a lot easier to play safe, and so you get 25 minutes to. This is after 25 minutes of building up, so it took a while, but it's hard for Bueno to deal with a big concentration of T-72s. So,
and Griffon, you were rank 1 at the time. Wow, rank 1 and the rank 3 at the time of this recording. The toppest of top players here. The T-72s, as we were talking about throughout the game, playing quite strong. The OSAs, they ended up capitalizing a lot on these kills, these planes. Again, a more well.
Yeah, once you get enough of them, you get enough, and especially on Ike where it's not super wide, and you can still get some overlapping coverage even though they're not like super long range. Yeah, that it worked out there.
Griffon, do you think on a different map this matchup might be more favorable for you, or are we thinking this matchup on the divs is also quite rough?
Well, I think an open map would definitely be better, because the bombers and the ATGMs do better on the open map. Okay. On such a constricted plateau, the ATGM doesn't work against T-72s. That's the fundamental issue here.
What about a map like Factory right now in the ranked pool? Which one would you rather have?
Factory is also pretty constricted, right?
Yep. So would you rather have your div, or would you rather have second?
Well, it's a hard pick because I think neither is good, but probably Tuya is still better there.
What are you thinking, Ben?
Yeah, I think if it at least feels like it's more popular, the Soviet one. I feel like I don't see a whole lot of Bueno played, at least just in the ranked pool. Because yeah, you don't get a lot of the heavier assets and whatnot. So anytime you want to go for a long game, yeah, 2Y is pretty solid. I didn't obviously my artillery wasn't great, and I should probably think about tweaking some of that. Like the D30s aren't great counter battery, but um, it at least makes it's at least enough to kind of thread some of the smoke mortars, which honestly, as a heavy tank div, if somebody's smoking you, like that's a problem.
Right.
So
Well, awesome. Thank you very much for you guys' time. I really appreciate you both coming out and talking through this game here and get everybody your guys' mindset.
yeah, it's fun. I'm glad we got the one game where I actually beat Griffon. So
It's always nice when you get at least one, right?
yeah. You need one.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Take care.